we would pass along the hand squeeze. We would all hold hands in a circle, and I really remember that. I remember it was my first time meeting someone who had also lost a sibling, and just that sense of connection was unbelievable. I remember the high energy room. That was so much fun. Hitting the bag with the noodle, that was fantastic. I think one of the most important things that I took away from being here was that it is okay to feel happy again. It's okay to feel joy. You know, even though you lost someone you really loved, it is okay to kind of continue living your life too and remembering that person, but also the complexity behind some of those emotions, and that, you know, for example, sometimes holidays might be really happy and really sad too, and that is okay. It's okay to feel all those emotions and process them, and to talk about that person, you know, to always remember them.
One of the things that was really important to me was the staff here who made the space super welcoming, super feeling like it really was an open space and like they were really here for us. I remember when everyone was out doing their thing, I would sometimes stay back in the room and the staff would come up to me and we'd like sometimes play foosball together. It was just really nice to have an adult who also understood.
I knew that I had to work with my grief instead of against it. I was interested in how the children's room and the teen group in particular could help me. While it's still really hard to talk about my dad's passing, even 10 years later, it's made me more confident in what I'm feeling and how to express that.
I like how the children's room is celebrated at the end of every meeting, acknowledging important events and timelines coming up, and they encourage the families to get together and like do something within the family to honor the loved one that passed away. My family, it wasn't often that we were kind of sharing with each other how we were feeling. We'd check in on each other and make sure we were doing okay, but there wasn't a lot of like real acknowledgement of the events that had gone by. I think having the children's room to kind of nudge us in the right direction to do that was something that I really valued, because it was a day where we could all sit and reflect, come together as a family to make sure that we remembered my dad, which was really nice.
My brother and I talk about it often and just think about that toolbox that we created through the time at the children's room that allowed us to grieve but also continue on with our day-to-day lives. I think being able to understand, there were a lot of obviously like emotions and feelings, anger and sadness and things that came up around my dad's death and since, and I think being able to kind of feel those, share them, and then also just be with them was really important, and I think has made it easier for me to communicate feelings in other situations too as an adult.
The children's room to me means a place where you can be the most vulnerable version of yourself and nobody's going to judge you. Nobody's going to look at you funny. The children's room helped give me the tools to be able to talk about things that were uncomfortable, to have challenging conversations, and to help build up that confidence too. Right now I'm a special ed teacher, and I work with a lot of students who have experienced grief, loss, different types of trauma, and that's something that we can connect on, and I try to support students through that because I was them at one point.
I think after my dad died, it was really important to me to not let people know that I was hurting. I was very guarded and it was very calculated in terms of how I want people to perceive how I'm dealing with the emotions. And you walk into the children's room, and I think this is universal anytime I've walked in there, and it's truly a warm environment, both through nature, osmosis of the people that are in there, but warm colors, and furnishing is warm, and everything feels very warm. For me, what the children's room means is a safe space, a place where anyone can go when they're dealing with their pains associated with grief and not be judged in any way, and just be met with open arms and people who have dealt with similar experiences and have the wisdom to just listen, really. And that's it's a super valuable gift.